My name is Victoria Cusimano, and I would like to welcome Michael Hirsh, mid-century, Art Deco, and modern ceramist, here with us today.
I started way back in middle school, took a ceramics class, got hooked, and it was on from there. Got into high school. Fortunately, we had ceramics in high school, and it was great, you know. So obviously, I wasn't much into the educational part of school, so I ended up going to art school, and that was great. You know, we got up into California College of Arts and Crafts, got my bachelor's up there, and then moved on down to here back to Los Angeles to Otis Art Institute, got my master's degree down there. And so that's kind of how it started. Yeah, it was fabulous. I was probably around some of the top ceramic artists of our time. You know, Peter Volkas, Viola Fry, Art Nelson. We had all these people that would also bring in guest artists to do week seminars with us. It was fabulous. We just got a real good education in ceramic art and what was going on at that time. But these people were trendsetters. These people pretty much invented clay, as far as I was concerned. So it was quite an honor to study under these people. Most of my work is typically wheel thrown, and then I add, you know, hand sculpted features. So like this particular piece is wheel thrown. It's a flower centerpiece bowl, so the centerpiece lifts off. So all the attachments are put on later after they've been thrown, and then I sculpt each piece before I put it on. The smoothing is just hours of working and tooling the clay and getting it smooth and getting the textures that I want. Some of the other work is the newer stuff is all hand carved. It's pretty much all wheel thrown, and then I carve my patterns in it, and then I do the glaze process. The people that I you know, went to school with, of course, Viola Fry was a big influence for me. And you know, some of the, there's a guy in Missouri, I'm pretty sure he's in Missouri, Greg Rasmussen, who does very similar work to me, but I really like his stuff. This piece here on the screen now is more of an earlier Art Deco piece where I incorporated the imagery of older car hood ornaments. And this happened to be from a Pontiac, like a 40s Pontiac passenger car. So that was, you know, those are pretty much my influences. I also collect vintage pottery, which has also been an influence in my work. I really like some of that the old style stuff. I think it's really classic, and the forms are very, you know, really classic stuff. And I'm a real big sticker for craftsmanship in work. So I really kind of patterned my style after that, and making sure that everything is, you know, neat and clean. And sometimes that kills me because it takes a lot longer to do stuff like that. Some of my, you know, influenced or people that influenced me are much looser style, which I wish I could do. I just not in my blood. I just can't seem to do it. So I just get into the tight, you know, detailed stuff. I pretty much was the lone wolf in a sense. My kids are actually pretty creative, even though they don't technically do artwork, but they're very good designers. They do their own websites and things like that. So, but no, otherwise, really, no, we've really had no real specific, you know, skills. You know, my great uncle was a set designer, but, you know, that was it. you know, I first started doing that show, I remember going to that show when I was, you know, back in school, you know, and I walked through it and I went, wow, this is really great. So, you know, when I grew up and got a career, you know, I said, hey, let's see what this is all about. So I started going, and it was fabulous. Yeah, it's a great show. It really is. It's a lot of fun. It's in a beautiful, beautiful location. They treat us like kings. They give us food, and yeah, that's my big thing, right? Like, we're really there to eat, you know. So, it's really well set up. The way it flows, there's a lot of good traffic, you know, people. We get mostly a lot of tourists sometimes, which is fun too. We get people from all over, and it's fun to talk to people, and they really receive my work well there. Because I get people also from, you know, Santa Monica, Culver City that come in. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. The weather's always fantastic. You can't, you know, it's Beverly Hills. I did like construction work, and I specialized in tile, probably, you know, pretty much bathroom, kitchen tile work. So it did, you know, I used my artistic abilities there, but what it really helped me with was developing skills for, you know, for building and figuring out stuff. So, I mean, I built my own studio. And so as an artist, you really have to have those resources. Otherwise, you're going to get killed, because then you have to pay somebody to do things for you. And it's very advantageous to have some type of, you know, skills to fix things, to build things and things like that. It really helps in, you know, like I build my own frames for my wall pieces. If I had to have somebody do that, it would, you know, it would just kill me. You know, I mean, we're broke enough as it is, but then we have to go spend money with somebody else. It's very difficult. So, and this way we can do it when we want to do it and get it done when we want to get it done and not have to wait. So it was very helpful to have that experience and carry on into my artwork. It kind of started back in middle school. You know, I just happened to take a clay class, and I just fell in love with it. It was great. You know, I mean, I had a really great teacher, and we started out making stuff, and it was just like, wow, I really loved it. I mean, as a youngster, I mean, I built models. I was always into building things with my hands, and we used to always go to the playground and do arts and crafts. But clay was it's so malleable, and you can just do anything you want with it. And I really just kind of fell in love with it from there, and it just seemed to fit me really well. You know, there's not a lot of artwork and arts going on in the schools right now like I had that opportunity when I was a youngster. So the Creative Arts Center where I teach has been a blessing for our community, because our high schools and middle schools, we just don't have, you know, the program set up because of funding and such like that. So I'm always encouraging, you know, young people to come in, because if, you know, that's our future at this point in time. So I really feel that's important to expose, you know, youngsters to this medium, because right now the medium is all digital. It's all, you know, computerized stuff. And so it's good to have kids use their hands. We don't teach hand skills in schools. It's just not happening. And it's all done on a computer. And this is going to, you know, help these kids down the road, because they'll be able to do things on their own. You know, they won't have to hire somebody to fix something or whatever. It's just a good thing to happen. The Burbank Arts for All is probably been my main thrust as far as, you know, donating my time and advocacy. They always are calling on me to go do demonstrations and things. And I go to the schools, and I go wherever they want me to go. And it's really, I feel an important, you know, thing for the community. And those organizations and some of the art associations, you know, Burbank Art Association and the Burbank Fine Arts Federation as well, which supports our facility. So I'm always, getting out there and trying to do what I can do to help those organizations in the community, because again, we just don't have these I want other kids and other people to have the opportunities that I had. And again, because it's, ceramics is a very difficult art form because it takes a lot of equipment and time and space. And whereas, painting and drawing and stuff, you can pretty much do anywhere at any time. So having these opportunities available for the young people is important, I believe. And, I started noticing at our Youth Art Expo that we host at the Creative Arts Center that there's not a lot of ceramics going on there. So I keep pushing some of my students and the kids and the parents to say, hey, let's put something together for the show so we can represent, so show people that there's another medium out there that's fun and that's viable. My website is very simple. It's mjhceramics.com. And my Instagram is just mjhceramics. So probably the best way to view my work at this point, because I don't have a lot of this stuff up on my website, but they can contact me through my website. And I will definitely respond. I do have that set up for that. But that at this point, I right now I'm just selling through art shows and whatever people contact me, and that's pretty much it. I use several different clays, and some of the bigger pieces I have to use a stoneware clay because of its structure. Porcelain is really my favorite clay to throw because it's just extremely smooth and luxurious is the best way to describe it. So I'd have to say porcelain is my favorite clay. At times it's very much a job, especially when you're working 12-hour days, 7 days a week. That's not fun sometimes because you're preparing for a show and you're trying to get as much stuff done because you want to put your best foot forward. And sometimes it can start to grate on you because it's just work, it becomes work. But on the other hand, getting up in the morning and doing what you want to do for a living is, you kind of think about that and you go, okay, it's worth it then. Yeah, it's a difficult transition to make because selling art at this point in time, even before the virus thing has been going on, has been difficult. It's very competitive. There's a lot of ways to sell art. My best advice is to get into marketing first, is figure out your market, find your market first, figure out, go through all the different ways, which is something that I've never really have done it because I just do it, and go to shows. I love going to shows. I love talking to people. Whereas when you sell online, it's not as personable. So that's the best thing to do is to figure out where to sell your work at first, depending on what work you do, whether it's painting, drawing, sculpting, ceramics, whatever. You have to find where the market is for your work and then go there, because otherwise you're going to be, fighting an uphill battle trying to make money. It's like you have to kind of, if you want to make money at it, you have to treat it like a job in a sense. So you have to really go out and do your research, do your marketing, and then make sure you got a good product too, Well, I think it's a combination, but it's mostly talent. If you can get pretty creative and have good ideas and good technique and be able to put out a great product that people are interested in having, or, people like to have something nice in their home, and they don't like something cheap, but yet they'll look for a bargain, of course. But luck, sometimes you're in the right place at the right time type of thing too. So, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit, but you really have to have a combination of all those things, but mostly good work and a good marketing program. Get it out there, get it out in front of people that are going to buy what you're selling.
Michael, thank you again for being a big advocate for the arts and for joining us this morning for our first ever Beverly Hills Virtual Art Show. It was a pleasure to interview you and see you again.
Hope to see you soon.